Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of Cop Talk. I must say apologies for last week, but you know how it goes. We have lives too now, peoples. Gonna send a massive shout goes out to Doctor. Nice of you to join us, sir.
How are we? How are we? How are we?
All good, all good, all good. Brother Tabrice. Brother Tabrice, man. Yes.
What's going on, people? What's going on?
How you doing, sir? How you doing?
I'm well.
That's
Thank you.
good. That's good. That's all we can ask for, man. Full strength, I tell you. Okay, so Liverpool, the Gunners. Gentlemen, I can't actually believe it. For once this season, we make a blistering start. It's like we can't play two good halves of football. I don't get it, man. Normally now we're coming back, or the first half is a stinker, and then we turn it on and blah blah. But this time we start off like, yo, okay, we're on stuff. What changed, man? What happened? What changed?
Concentration.
No, but what? Okay, then. Why were we so good in the first half when normally we've been so poor?
Why were we so good in the first half?
And against you, as you would say, one of the better teams as well.
I mean, Arsenal had more. I think Arsenal had more of the ball in the first 10, 15 minutes. If I'm correct. And I'm not saying that we scored two of our goals against the run of play, but it wasn't as if we were really dominating the first half. Yes, like we scored two goals in quick succession, but I don't think we were dominating the first half. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I wouldn't say we dominated the first half, but it was a much better team in the first half.
No, listen, I thought we brought them up. Yeah, I thought it was you know what it was? They had a couple of chances, right? Obviously, there was the one when Curtis gets caught on the ball, and then there was a Saka one from the set piece. Maybe there was a couple of chances almost changed the theme of the actual half. But I just thought our patterns of play, how we were building up from the back, the overloads we then created in midfield and further forward, I thought, and then I guess our passing tempo and then the movement, they just couldn't live with us, I felt. I think once the first half settled in, I just felt that the speed of our play and like I said, I think our build-up play was particularly it was really, really strong first half. And Slot was obviously working on something else from a patterns of play viewpoint. Then maybe that's going to be the plan post Trent. But yeah, I just felt Diaz in particular in that false nine role was dragging their centre backs forward, and there were spaces for us running behind. I just felt that tactically, we were really, really good, and everyone knows how much I rate Diaz. But actually, really and truly, he should have had a hat trick. Because there's one from Mo Salah when Curtis Jones thinks he's Mo Salah and plays the outside of the boot pass across the back.
Yes,
that's sensational. And maybe if you're a massive Diaz fan like I am, you're trying to find reasons to why he missed. You could say that maybe Mo put a bit too much on the pass, so you had to control it first. I'm just chatting. He should have scored the goal.
Yeah, he should have scored that.
And then there's the third one where it gets given as offside, but he wasn't. Where who pulls it back? Is it Szoboszlai pulls it back to him, and then he's near post and he just misses it. But it was called offside. But actually, I don't think it was offside. So I think if he'd actually scored that goal, then I think they'd have to give it. But yeah, I just felt like our movement patterns of play were just great to see, man.
Okay, so then what happened come second half now? So you know what, 2-0 out at home. What happened, man?
I think we just eased off the. You know what they always say, 2-0 is probably the most dangerous score in football. And I can't remember even how it was. It was Moreno that scored their first goal, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember who that scored their first goal, but
and Moreno or Martinelli got the goals. Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelli. That was an appalling goal to give. Appalling.
Yes. But I mean, again, I think we just eased off the gas. We are Premier League champions. Like, the pressure is now off. And if you read in between the lines, and I'm not going to single anyone. Well, I can't really single anyone out, but like, the focus on your body language and actually how you play is completely different now.
Bro, you're here to single them out, bro. That's what you're here for.
Honestly, I can't even think of anyone really. I mean, I just think as a team, like, collectively, everyone's just a lot more relaxed. And when we play football at the elite level, which I've never played. Well, you know, I've like never played, but you know, when you can play in high pressurized games, you need some sort of stress, because if you don't have that stress, then the focus goes. And I think now we are just playing, you know, maybe 5%, you know, more relaxed, and you can see like the intensity, you know, it just isn't there. I mean, we like sorry against Chelsea, and like, you know, we like sorry against Arsenal. And of course, like, their second goal, everyone's talking about Trent, whatever, you know, hey, it is what it is. I mean, it was a great strike. I don't know why Alisson didn't go with his right hand rather than left.
There was a big debate about that, and then they spoke on TV about it, and they said that apparently that it's the keepers find it easier to go that way and to get the reach
this way.
When they go that way. Yeah, they said they actually find it easier, and they said if you're in goal and you actually, and it comes at you, you'll find it as a natural reaction that you'll actually do the same thing. They say when you look at it, you think, yeah, they would go that side, but actually it's a natural reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah, because I think you only go on your left hand if you're really having to stretch in it. If it's that one where it's really out there, and it wasn't really. He just blasted it hard, didn't it? So reflex went like that. Yeah, look, I thought Ali should have done better with it. But if you read in between the lines, right, these guys are in Dubai right now, right? I think last week they was on holiday somewhere as well. Chelsea, they feel the weakened team. Listen, I just think Slot right now is saying we won the league. It's all about next season now, isn't it? Like, let's get you as fresh for next season as possible. Let's like reduce the stress, because what's more important? Trying to get maximum points this season or winning the title next season. So I think everything now is next season in terms of patterns of play, things he's working on. I think he's obviously got a post-Trent plan in place in terms of what the right back's going to be doing. And I'm sure we're going to talk about Frimpong later on. So you just saw the way Bradley was playing, think to yourself, okay, is this now what next season is going to look more like as well? So I just think everything is around next season. And I just think, because he was so dominant in that first half, I feel like the only thing that potentially they played, I couldn't say the only thing, but maybe the main thing that they were playing for was to show Arsenal, bruv, like, we're champions, innit? Like, we can hit levels. And I thought, because the first half was so one-sided, I thought they've almost come out second half like, it's done, innit? And then Arsenal, to their credit, yeah, they were really good, man. Like, they were blatantly really good. They put down some serious levels in that second half. So credit to the Gunners, man. But I just think, yeah, it's a bit of complacency.
Okay. I will say they did, but also I believe that the goals were both poor defended for me.
Absolutely. The first goal was
both poor. So it wasn't that great by the Gunners, to be fair. Especially the header. One, Bradley needs to close that down, number one, and don't allow the cross. Two, Kanate doesn't know what's behind him. Three, Van Dijk is behind them all and can see what's happening, and he's seeing this man here, and he's running out to another player here, and leaving this man to head of the ball in the goal. I'm like, that's 1, 2, 3 errors, man.
Yeah, I think sometimes with Virgil, it's almost like the guy thinks he's a bit of a Jedi too much, and it's almost like he tries to read every situation. And he's obviously looked at the angle of where Trossard was, looked at where the players were thought to himself, Odegaard is where I need to be watching. And obviously it was a poor error of judgment rather than just doing the old school and just following in like your man, innit? So yeah, no, it was poor. It was cool. But to be fair to Bradley, and I think different fans are going to have different views on Bradley based on if they think he's ready, if he's not ready. Just before they scored the goal, there was that exchange where he almost goes in a bit too aggressively, and I think Trossard goes past him, right?
Yeah.
So then I wonder if then with that second goal, he's got that in mind and just feels, let me just hold my position a little bit more.
You sound like the commentators, bro.
Nah, well,
That's
but then,
exactly what they said.
but then in actual fact, as poor as it was from Bradley, now I'm not saying that Bradley knows this, but if Trossard's on the left wing and he's crossing in the ball, if I've got Konate and Van Dijk as centre backs and Martinelli's their striker and Saka and Odegaard coming in as number 9 from the number 10 position, I'm expecting what's behind me to deal with that, innit? So much as Bradley was at fault, but you're not expecting, like, it's not like Trossard's crossing into Duncan Ferguson, innit? It's Martinelli. So realistically, like, I think it's the centre backs, personally, if I was to attribute most blame.
I think with Bradley now, he's now realizing that he's a sheriff. He's like he's not the deputy no more.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of pressure. Like before, he could just hang back behind Trent and say, you know what, I just fill in and I'll just now be free. You know, exactly how he burst onto the scenes. He was free. He was like, yeah, cool, like, because I know I'm not going to start the next game or whatever. I'm free. But now he's a Liverpool player now. Like we are all talking about him like this guy is now like the guy that's gonna now let us forget about Trent and literally he's not gonna hurt us as much.
Or is he?
Or is he? So now it's, I know people are talking about his ability physically, but now it's all about mental now. Because just like how doctors just literally critiqued everything that Bradley did, we weren't doing that last season. We weren't doing that, you know, when like he just burst onto the scenes. He now has to now cope with the criticism, the constructive criticisms that people are now going to give him. So can he handle that week in, week out in high pressurized games, play 38 games plus Champions League and like over like trophies now? That is really now where like Bradley now needs to step up.
Definitely. Well, I'm hoping that, you know what, he served a good apprenticeship, so I'm hoping that now he should be prepared because he's been around that first team squad long enough now to know what it's about and to play in a title winning team. So, you know, he's won a couple cups as well. So I'm hoping that, you know what, if I've served my apprenticeship now, it is time to step up, and I should be ready because I don't think there's nothing more they can do. He's played enough football.
Oh yeah, like it's his time now. Like, yeah, this is your, like, I think Tabrice makes a good point. I think when you're the understudy and there's not much pressure on you and you're like the breath of fresh air, then yeah, like it can be easier to do well. Whereas now, obviously, like he's under pressure. Like, are you good enough to be the starter? So in many ways, you can almost argue that these last couple of games that he's had are almost like his audition, isn't it? Because the club, do we sign another right back? Do we look to buy a centre back who can rotate? Does Gomez come out? Do we sign a starting right back? Do we sign somebody back up to Bradley? I think in many ways, Bradley's performances will dictate some of these questions. So I think if Bradley had looked absolutely amazing since he's come back into the team, then maybe the view is actually we just buy like a younger player to rotate with Bradley, whereas it's looking like actually Bradley, you're not quite there yet. So yes, it's interesting times, man. Interesting times.
Very interesting.
But look, he's young. What's Bradley? 21?
Think
22
so.
maybe?
About 21, 22 max, yeah.
Yeah, like no 21, 22-year-old should expect to be a starter for the league champions unless you're exceptional. And he hasn't proven to be exceptional yet. He's talented. He's got a big future. So he has to fight for his place, man. Like that's it.
Definitely. Big shouts, VW. Nice of you to join us, sir. And he said exactly what I said from before. It was definitely, that match was definitely a game of two halves. That old saying. 100%. 100%. Don't worry, Vinny. I'll see that next comment. We will definitely be getting to that later. That is 100%. We will be getting to that. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it's still for me though. It's still a case of, you know what? All right, I know we've won the league, but man, come on, man. It's professional. We got banter to play for, man. We got levels to play for. This is Anfield. You know what I mean? Not beating Arsenal like that in a minute. You know what I mean? I want to put that to bed, man. I feel personally it was 2 points dropped.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, it would have been good for us to have beaten them. I mean, like, one of my Arsenal mates, who's a friend of Stoney's, I kind of messaged me during the week. I was like laughing, not even laughing, a couple of smiley faces. Anyway, like, you still can't beat us. To which I just responded, bruv, like, you don't win a title for drawing with the league champions, innit? Like, there's no title in that, bruv. Like the title is in amassing points over a 38-game season. Like, shut up, innit? And he just went quiet. Like, yeah, like, ultimately, it's about points accrued, right? And I just think, even in the game where Odegaard was playing handball last season,
oh my gosh,
and we should have won that game.
Yes.
But what I would say with that first half, and look, you can say about Arsenal being defeated after PSG, and you can point to all the factors that you want to. Just in terms of what we saw on the pitch, that's probably the most one-sided Liverpool-Arsenal game I've seen for a while in terms of that first half. We put down some serious levels and opened them up differently, also to the point where Bloody Arteta was vexed post-match. Like, he's not even celebrating the comeback. He's just like, oh, we weren't ready. Like, so I just feel like seeing the performance levels was good to see. And yes, it didn't last for the whole 90 minutes, but like I said, in it, Slot's looking to win trophies, isn't it? So my man's in preparation for next season now. So yeah, all good.
So Breeze, 2 points dropped, or like we've won it already, man. We're cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to say 2 points dropped because we're the champions, but like also as well, you know what the narrative is like going to be if we don't get maximum points from Brighton and Palace. If we like lose those other two games, we like finish on 83 points, which is probably one of the lowest tallies on the champions in a long time. So then, of course, the narrative is like it's been a poor league, X, Y, Z. So it's a double-edged sword. But again, like there's like playing beautiful football and winning trophies. With like minimum fuss. I know exactly what I would rather do at the end of my career in terms of what I would be most happy with.
Of course. But why is it not possible that we can do both?
I just think there's a mentality point of view, and I just feel like after a long look, so you saw even with like PSG, for example, right? They were on course to go unbeaten, and then after they'd won the league, they started rotating the team just a little bit more, not even too much difference. And I think they'd lost something like 3 games out of 6. I just feel like like jeopardy is a huge thing for pro players. And when the league's won, man. Like, it's just one, isn't it? Like, and I think to Breeze's point on points total, I just feel like the way I look at it would be like this, right? Because of in previous seasons, there's been a title race that has gone down to say the final weekend or something like that. So by default, those teams have to keep on pushing until the final game of the season.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas up with 30, so we won the league before the Chelsea game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what, 2 games ago?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the way I would look at it would be this. After 34 games, when the league had just been won, how many points Liverpool have in comparison to previous seasons where teams had played 34 games? And I would probably bet that our points total at 34 games when we won the league was rival, if not more points than Arsenal last season, City last season, probably even City the season even before that. So I just thought up until the league was won, like our points totals were like it was absolute levels, isn't it? It's just not our fault if like the league was won early, man. Like it's just what happens. It's just what happens, isn't it?
But I mean, I think this also brings more awareness to when the professionals say it's like 2% talent, 98% mentality.
Yeah, of course.
Literally, this now, we can see it. There's like we can't say nothing about our Liverpool team. Every single player, talented international players. They all have the ability. But once something is done, like if you switch up for that, that like 2, 3, 4 like percent, you can see everyone's levels just dip. You know what I'm saying? So like it's such a mental game at this like high point. Like people just do not know the amount of work, how much detail that every single player has to go through in every single game. Just, what I'm saying? And like now we've kind of, literally, reached the summit. No matter what the coaching staff or the manager is saying to you, everything's already been done. Like exactly what Doctor said. They're like now in Saudi now, like they're like now driving their Ferrari Porsches and doing whatever nonsense that they're doing. You know what I mean? So
it's and I think Slot's a real dude, isn't it? Is Slot really gonna be switching after the game, knowing that on Monday we're flying out to the Emirates? And these men are having pool parties and they're chilling. Like I think that's just where we're at. And look, I would imagine we are in a very rare position, especially in the context of Man City and previous Premier League title races, where getting 98 points hasn't been enough for us. Getting 94 points hasn't been enough for us. So we're used to going down to the wire with historic points totals and still losing the leagues. The fact that things have wrapped up with 4 games to go and man them are in Dubai or wherever they are in Saudi chilling and drinking cocktails, like yeah, it's just not always going to be like this, man.
Well, I hear that. Or like Tabrice eating food. Yeah. This guy. Tell me, what did you think of Robbo's game?
I thought he was playing for a contract. In that, I feel in his mind, probably thinking Saka seen as being like a levels winger, and against Arsenal, obviously at the game at the Emirates, Saka obviously destroyed him, and it was quite embarrassing that goal that Saka scored. So I feel first half, possibly one of the best Robbo performances I've seen for a while. However, second half was probably the reason why you don't give him the new contract, because he just couldn't sustain that level of consistency throughout the performance. Yeah. And then started getting rinsed and ripped up again. I was just like, oh, Robbo, man, you're just a fading force. But it's, like he said, it's been 8 years, man. It's been 8 years.
It has, and it seems like it's gone quick. 8 years.
Yeah, I know, right? Because when he said 8 years, I'm thinking, is it 8 years? And I think this is where, yeah, sometimes you just need change, right? To have the same fullbacks for 8 years is a long time.
It is.
And yes, obviously both of them were young, especially Trent. But I just think, yeah, it's time for change, man.
What did you think of Robbo's performance?
I thought he did okay. Of course, like it's not the rampaging Robbo from like yesteryear. Saka gave him, problems, but I think overall, I thought he did okay. There's a I think there's a player in there that literally wants to adapt, and he knows that he has to adapt as well, which is for me quite refreshing in terms, again, how he speaks, his demeanor, he's he knows that his superpowers are waning slightly, but I thought he had a decent game,
Okay.
and and again, I think Saka, if you're in this, I don't want to digress too much, but how Saka came back from his injury and just continued playing, that's for me a worry. He came back from a serious hamstring injury and then boom, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. And even when he got taken off, he was just literally ambling. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was spent.
Yeah. And he's dipped as well. It's weird because you hear pros saying this, right? The first few games after injury are the easiest, and then after a while, that adrenaline goes, and then you're then kind of struggling. And he has dipped quite significantly, Saka. And actually, if you look at Arsenal's win percentage, since he's come back, it's got a lot worse.
Yeah.
A lot worse. A lot worse. So maybe there was some mileage and then maybe just resting him for the rest of the season or easing him in a bit more. Because now to be like you're right, man. He's been ambling quite a bit. He's back doing the limping thing again.
Yeah. I see that. Poor Robbo, man. So with saying that with Robbo, then, and so Tabriz has touched on, realizing he has to adapt, willing to adapt. Do you think he can make that adapt, or do you think that it's just a case of, look, long and short of it is we just need a new guy. That's it.
Oh yeah, I know we need a new guy, and thank God Slot is a ruthless kind of dude in it. Slot's not. Pause, boy. That was the original pause.
You've got to come in and say hi now. You do that. Go on, you got to say hi now. Go on, you can put your. How are this?
Oh, cried.
Yeah.
Cried. Oh,
brilliant.
What was I saying? Robbo.
Yeah, so we're talking about can he make that adaptation, or do we just say, you know what?
Oh yeah, we need a new left back. Long as Robbo is not good enough. That's just the reality of the situation. He got his first assist of the season. It was a great pass, and really good header by Cody. However, for God's sake, Cody, how he didn't just square it to Mo Salah when he was first attacking, when he was through on goals. It's like, bro, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I saw one still where it's literally all he's got to do is just square it across. I was like, Cody, what one? But luckily he scored afterwards. But yeah, Robbo's not good enough. And that's not a slight on him. As he said, it's been 8 years. He played a lot of football under Klopp and a lot of high-intensity football, sprinting up and down. And yeah, it's taken its toll, man. And there's no shame in that. No shame. But Rude Boy, you are not good enough to be our left back moving forward. That's just the reality of the situation.
If he wants to be playing and being that guy again, I think what he does is he goes back to Scotland and he'll be a G, bro. He will be a G.
Listen, I think if he's willing to accept the squad role, fine. If he's going to accept a squad role, I've got no issue with it. I think he's a good character, good for the dressing room. However, if we sign a new left back, don't get into your feelings and get a sense of competitive energy, which then almost stifles the new left back's development. Because that's not helpful. Because ultimately, we're not signing a left back for competition. We're signing a left back because you're not good enough anymore.
100%.
And that's been over a couple of seasons as well. That's been over a couple of seasons. Just that this season, it's been more and more pronounced. But last season, you weren't great. Season before that, you struggled. Last season, Joe Gomez was our best left back. This season, the roastings he's got, we're talking about elite, not even elite level. Saka, hey, one of the best wingers in the world, in my opinion, roasted him, fair enough. Madueke was taking him for ham sandwich.
Yeah. Oh,
Literally, I couldn't believe it. I was watching. It's like, man, someone said, yeah, your food, I'm dealing with it. No chance. Dembele, PSG, fair enough, again, one of the best wingers in the world. Absolutely destroyed the dude, but this is the levels that we need to compete at, right?
100.
So, and there's been enough games. Southampton giving away penalties or getting roasted. Like, he just got roasted against mediocre teams. So, Robbo, like, yeah, man, like,
you agree to me, so you disagree?
I slightly disagree. I think he's still got credit in the bank. I think if you could look at Robbo in his in his prime, was he even a defensive left back? His like best weapon was literally getting forward, which kind of made him look like, oh wow, like this guy cannot be beat. So I think it's 100% like he's kind of slow. I think it's a little bit unfair for us to ship him out.
I wouldn't sell him.
I think he is now of an age and of an experience that yes, he can guide like the younger players and anyone that comes into the team. I think just reading in between the lines, I think he's a very likable guy. Like when I kind of watched it inside Liverpool, like
yeah.
He's, you know what I'm saying, like he's
great character.
Yeah. Like he's very inclusive. That's that's kind of what I get from what I watch. But I would kind of give him another season. Yes, he hasn't played particularly well in some games, but again, it's a kind of different way of playing under Slot. And again, he can get forward, but it's kind of more of a transitional like phase of getting forward rather than like the centre backs have got the ball. Trent and Robbo just go, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like almost like all-out attack. There's a kind of method now, which Robbo is probably found it a little bit difficult to adapt.
Yeah. Like I feel like new style of play doesn't entirely suit him, but obviously, look, he's still a good player. He's just not great anymore, and I just think we're a great team, and for me, it's an easy upgrade. I wouldn't sell Robbo this season. I would sell Tsimikas. I wouldn't extend his contract though. I would look to sign our starting left back this season, and then get a backup to the season after when Robbo goes, or even who's the young left back that's out on loan? I can't remember his name.
Left back or else?
Left back.
Yeah. I think he's at Blackburn or Sheffield United. Oh, bloody hell. It'll come to me. Beck.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm not sure how highly he's rated by the team. Well, I guess like the first team squad or the coaching staff, should I say. But yeah, because he's like 21, 22. So maybe they see him as somebody who can compete for or be back up like in a couple of seasons. So yeah, I just feel like all the things come to an end, man.
Robbo. Where do I stand with Robbo now? I honestly don't even know if he's got it in him no more to be back up, to be fair. There's just so many errors in him at the moment that I'm just not sure. He doesn't fill me with confidence. The one thing I'm thinking about then is, okay, all right, you know what? Obviously, yes, we have to get in a new left back and a starting left back at that. My next thing is, though, after him having the rest, like the summer off, a good rest and whatever, does he come back refreshed, re-energized, and good enough to put in some decent performances?
Yes, but just because you're rested doesn't mean you got your pace back.
No, you won't. You don't get that back.
Yeah,
You don't get that back. You don't get that back.
yeah.
But then that just means now for me that you need to sit back more and defend.
You've got to work out your positioning as a defender. Like,
Yeah.
again, like every single player that we applaud and whatnot, not a lot of them had pace. You know, it's a fact that they were 2-3 steps ahead of everyone else, and like they made football look really, really easy, especially the defenders. If you kind of looking at the defenders, I mean, again, you know, so. But again, will like Slot give that time to Robbo? I think Robbo is willing to learn. You know, again, it looks like a very humble man. But again, it really depends on what Slot wants from his back five. And again, who we're looking to bring in, and actually, what is our priority right now? Is it forward-thinking players? Is it bringing in defensive players? And is a left back someone or like a position that we really need to bolster this summer? I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
Well, for me, I think it's the weakest. No, it's the second weakest position that we've got on the team. Actually, I think it's the weakest still. No, it is the weakest. Because I feel...
What was giving it competition?
I was going to say number 9, but then I think when the team has played well of late, and even at times back end of last year's Christmas period, I think Diaz through the middle has worked well for many games. Yeah, he had that period where he dipped. But if I think about Diaz's best performances as a number 9 in comparison to Robbo's performances as a left back, then yeah, I think left back's the weakest position in the team by far. Like, there's been so many things with Robbo, like both games against Fulham, like the game at Craven Cottage where he's doing crossfield passes and then he's getting caught out, and then he's coming to block shots, and then the guys, and he's been horrible. The first game at Anfield when he gets the red card, and it's been a calamitous season for him. It really has been. But doesn't mean that he hasn't played well at times, but I just feel like
not consistently enough. Yeah,
like he's picked up after Christmas, but that's just been just about standard. I do think, like it's fine, man. He's 8 years as a fullback, it's a long time, man. And surely fullback must be one of the positions that the physical toll of that position must really kind of impact players more than that. But you're just sprinting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Robbo.
Yeah, man. Like, I'll definitely clap you. Yeah, like, I won't boo you like I was booing Trent, but yeah.
So, okay, continuing with talking about left backs then. So, Leeds are interested in signing Tsimikas.
It's a good player for that. Like, yeah, like I think Costas is blatantly a good player, and I think he can count himself unlucky to have not played more this season. Personally, I think he'd be good signing like for most teams in the league. So, but yeah, I think ultimately someone has to go. So it's probably going to be Costas.
Okay, Tabriz?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good signing for Leeds. Experience, again, a decent left foot. He kind of knows like the league. And again, like he's been a very obedient, literally, when I say obedient, I'm not even taking like the mic, but an obedient second choice, you know, doesn't moan, like he kind of knows his place, isn't it? So for him going to Leeds, I can imagine him starting a lot more games.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, you better be, man. You can't be leaving Liverpool, getting to Leeds and not being a starter.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
So,
Yeah, that would be an absolute joke. Okay. Hey, doctor, come on, man. We got the big one to talk about now, bro.
mhm.
Another one's this, so that you lot just disappearing to clap food, you know. Think I don't know you.
That's some cat wars, man.
Come back.
That's some cat wars. That's some bloody cat wars.
That's what I'm talking about. Some
Seriously, that's some
couples
bloody cat wars,
out
man.
there. Cheeks looking like they got some gobstoppers in the blood. Listen.
No, we're
Okay, gentlemen. We know we have to get onto this. The booing of Trent Alexander. Where do you lot sit with this boom? Because I've had split opinions in many a WhatsApp group and conversations I've been having with people. But where do you lot sit and why?
I was booing myself, bro. I think he's taken the absolute piss. And I think it was right that he was booed. Equally, I can understand people that okay, it wasn't nice to see him being booed. But and I can understand people saying you never boo a player like in a red shirt as well. I can understand all views. Personally, I was booing. But I feel like he's taken bare liberties and the fact that he's being tapped up. So the way I would look at it, and I think why I think it's particularly bad. One, the way he marketed himself. Homegrown talent, Scouser in the team, Dream is a captain in Liverpool. And I even saw it interview with him a few years back saying like he grew up also supporting Barcelona as well. So how this Real Madrid things happened, who knows? But anyway, for me, I look at it like this, right? We've seen players like McAllister sign contracts at Brighton to get them a fee when he chooses to leave. We've seen Jack Grealish sign a contract at Villa with a release clause so that they could get £100 million. We've seen so many players agree terms with the clubs that they profess to love that ensures that that team still gets a fee for them. Now, I understand that there's something called greed and that when you sign pre-contracts, you're likely to make more money from the actual transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, but I think for me, where I look at it maybe slightly different is, and where I'm disappointed in Trent, I think he's put Real Madrid's needs ahead of Liverpool's. And by that, I think they have tapped him up probably up to a couple of seasons ago and said, run down your contract and move to us. And that basically means that we can sign you and the money that we save on a transfer fee for you, we can sign someone else. And that for me, I think is it's unforgivable. Like you can't put a rival team's needs ahead of your own boyhood team that you profess to love. And I think it's just shameful from Trent's viewpoint. The fact that his brother in circles a couple even season before last was calling him Trent McManaman and that. So this has obviously been their plan for a very long time. And I just think, just be honest. Just say to the club from how long ago, I have no interest in signing a new deal. Stop stringing people along. Then the club can make up their mind and then choose what they then want to do with that information. But the fact that we've tried to make him the highest paid defender in world football, the fact that you can win major trophies at Liverpool, the fact that you've just won the Premier League and now you've left on a free, I think it's crazy, isn't it? I think it's absolutely crazy. So yes, boo Trent with chess.
Tabrice.
I thought it was absolutely disgusting.
I knew he's gonna go. I knew it. I knew it. I love this. Okay. Go for it.
Liverpool don't owe Trent anything. Trent doesn't owe Liverpool anything. We all kind of forget that these players, and I think we all know that it's a job. And he's been at Liverpool for 20 plus years. Yes, a bit of luck, but again, his ability has kind of got him to where he is right now. No one would have thought when when he could have made his debut, that we'd be talking about him like this. He has done whatever he can for Liverpool Football Club. He's won everything, like, you know, apart from the Europa and Conference, because like we don't do those little league, those kind of little tournaments still. We have applauded him for his football IQ. We have backed him when other people in the media and other supporters haven't. He has like had the kind of mental strength to kind of get through those all that difficult times and still perform at the highest level for Liverpool. If he wants to experience a different culture, a different way of playing football, let him go. There's no player bigger than any club. And I do not know why we would boo someone that has given Liverpool so much. That's how fickle football fans are. And literally, I'm going to say even borderline. No, you know what? I'm going to kind of keep it PG. That's how fickle we are. Because imagine if he scored that goal, that like free kick. Imagine if he scored that. So what? So people just wouldn't clap, or literally wouldn't cheer. I was itching for that ball to go in. Honestly, like, I've never wanted Trent to score a goal that was, even though it was insignificant really to the kind of grand scheme. I just wanted him to actually score that, just to see how, like, you know, people.
I wanted him to score it.
100%.
Same, yeah.
Yeah,
If he had scored, I would have clapped the goal. Still would have booed him. See, because you know what it is, I guess I'm not booing Trent the player. I'm booing Trent the person. And like, for me personally, I've got no issue with players leaving Liverpool Football Club. No issue at all. I've always defended players like Torres and Coutinho. Trent wanted to. I've got no problem with Trent wanting to go to Real Madrid. No problem at all. I just object to the way he's gone about it and the fact that he's been deceitful in engineering his loss. I mean, his departure on a free contract under the instructions from Real Madrid.
Okay, so literally, do not forget, that's how the Mbappe move to Real Madrid happened as well. Like, so, you know,
I don't rate him either for it. like I don't rate these guys for doing this at all.
But literally, this is football. This is a job. Like, again, these players don't owe the clubs anything, and vice versa. You know, yes, we feel hurt because this is generations upon generations of supporting the team, and literally we remember moments, and we remember when John Barnes did this, and when Jamie Redknapp did this, and when Fowler did this. So literally, there are certain things that are ingrained, like, you know, when we talk about football with these players. And literally, I'm not gonna tarnish everyone with the same brush, but these players, again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as we've spoken before, like the pressure of being an elite footballer, and like the surroundings, and like hearing the same person over and over and over and over and over again, and going out to try and perform, and when like, things are not going well at home, people still want you to perform, and then when you're not playing well, they criticize you on all these media outlets, and then I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You know, I think it's probably going to be harder in Spain because, again, like, the Spanish press are savage. Cool, yeah. But for a man who's 26, like, he's not a kid. You know what I'm saying? And however people want to say he engineered this move, and this word engineering is crazy for me. But like how he dreamt about his career going. He has played for his boyhood club. He is still a Liverpool supporter. 100%. There's like been conversations between Liverpool and Real Madrid, because of course Real Madrid came in January for, is it 20 mil, and actually we said no. So we had an opportunity then to sell him, and if we did sell him, people would have said, you know what, he should have gone for 30 or 40. Like, he couldn't win. You know what I'm saying?
Greece, man. Like he's like this isn't some Hobson's choice, bro. Like, we've seen multiple players leave clubs, but ensure that that club can get some kind of transfer
Yes.
fee for their service. That's
Yeah.
not an unreasonable thing. And I feel like you can pursue your own career interests whilst making sure that the club that has made you, the club that you profess to love, the vice captain as well. Let's not forget that he's vice captain. They're scouting the team. His branding has been much guy. I think you can do all of that and ensure that the club has got money to replace you. I don't feel that's a big ask. And for
But-
me, that's the issue.
No,
Like
but-
you can leave and leave in a way that you haven't put Real Madrid's needs ahead of Liverpool's. Cristiano Ronaldo got Man United a transfer fee. Hazard got Chelsea a transfer fee. You can go to Real Madrid and get a transfer fee from your boyhood club. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like,
Well,
this whole, I'm not going to sign for you under any circumstances, but I'm not going to tell you that. Because, like, now the story's coming out is that's the first thing Richard Hughes did. Went to Trent in April last year. Bosh. Here's a massive contract. Now, if Trent had said at that point in time, I'm not leaving, I say, sorry, I'm not signing under any circumstances. You can make me the best paid fullback in the league. You can win me a Premier League. I'm not signing. Then the club then know, okay, cool, fine. But what's Trent always said? I want to win trophies. I want to win trophies. I want to win trophies. I think in Trent's head, Klopp's gone. We've got a new manager. This is the perfect time for me to leave. And I'm not going to get no criticism because I want to win trophies. Trent's not thinking Liverpool going to win the Premier League. And now we won the Premier League. He's got nowhere to hide, isn't it? Because he won trophies now. So your reason for leaving can't be trophies. Just stay it. You want to go to Real Madrid and do what big things with Jude Bellingham and do the sunshine thing and win Ballon d'Ors. And no one's got a problem with that. Just be honest with it. Just be honest. Just say they wanted to leave from time and get us a transfer fee. That's what I'm saying.
They've been talking from 2023.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
deal was you run down your contract, you get 20 mil because you're signing on a free. You'll get 20 mil, and you just come to us. Simple.
Yeah, but you know what? That's all ifs, buts, and maybes. Like,
You can't keep that secret as far as I'm concerned, and I fully agree with what Doctor's saying. You know what? I'll be honest with my club and say, listen, I'll sign a deal as long as you and Madrid can come to some kind of arrangement of a fee, so you make sure you don't get some money. But when the time comes and they come in with that fee, bam, I'm gone.
And don't forget, Liverpool aren't unreasonable. Like we accepted a lower fee for Sadio Mane because Bayern were offering him a crazy contract, and he was just like, cool.
Yeah.
I think they said, look, we can't give him this massive contract and give you massive transfer fee. So we accepted. Like, I think we've been fair in terms of, look, all of these stats, and I think everyone sees that our wage bill is clearly a lot higher than what it is on paper. Hence why we've got, in the last 3 years, we've either had the second or the third highest wages in the Premier League. Now, the fact that we're in the same league as Manchester City, you're owned by a country, and Chelsea, you're spending £1 billion on players, is mightily impressive. So financially, we have taken care of these players. These guys aren't getting idiot wages at Liverpool. So they're getting paid. So financially, we're on point. If Trent, look, as I said, I've got no issue in Trent wanting to go for playing for Real Madrid. No issue at all. On my FIFA career team, I've sold Trent on a few occasions because he's worth money. And I needed to rebuild. But I just felt you could have done it in a way that boyhood club managed to get a transfer fee. That's my major gripe. And I just feel he's been underhand with how he's managed it. And the fact that you're vice captain and you've said nothing all season, stop doing press, you want him to be captain. And nah. He's vice captain, you know. Trent's vice captain.
For real.
Vice captain.
Says that weren't feeling how TA got booed, got treated, taking the shine off our title win. It was bad enough that we couldn't full enjoy the 2020 due to COVID. Now we're focusing on giving Trent verbals. Not cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't nice to see. It wasn't nice to see.
You know what?
Do you think the booing affected him when for not marking the play when the goal went in?
Nah. You know what? It is what it is. It is. But I mean, it just had to be him, isn't it? That's the thing. It just had to be him. But I mean, like, let's not get it twisted. The booing affected him 100%, because it affected me. I was watching, I thinking, right, that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, he loves Liverpool. Like, you know.
But there's one thing saying that you love them, but it's different when you do things to show.
No, but listen, you know what? There's certain man and there's certain professionals, i.e. Jermaine Defoe, like, was a wrong un, like, for like, to like West Ham. He was ill-advised, whatever. Yeah, okay. I know West Ham are not as big as Liverpool, but like the Paul Ince situation, moving from West Ham to United, and where, like, there's been things happening. You know what I'm saying? But how I see it, like, he has felt he's been the best thing for him. Football, yes, it's a team sport, but you have to individually give up and sacrifice a lot of stuff to be in that 1% club, or actually 0.5% club. You know, so there's you know, there's a kind of element of pride, and literally there's a kind of element of like, for me, like a sense of achievement that he's done everything for. The more when Gerrard slipped against Chelsea, and when, you know, when everyone, I genuinely sat down and I thought, you know, I'm not going to see a Premier League. Like, literally, I'm not going to see one.
Yeah.
You know, literally, Man City and Chelsea are just going to just win every. I'm not going to see a Premier League in my lifetime. And the fact that we got two, with Trent being so pivotal in both of them.
I hear that. I hear that.
Literally, I am not going to. You know, literally, I don't hate anyone anyway, but literally, I am not going to bring out any negative energy to Trent that's going to bamboozle and literally spoil and literally do almost like a total recall of all of the great moments that Trent has given Liverpool. Like, again, we should be celebrating this. Like, we should be celebrating the fact that we've won this Premier League at a canter. We should, should be celebrating that, like a Scouser, an Englishman, is going to Real Madrid and possibly could again light up that league. You know, someone that potentially, you know, could actually get better. He could actually get better at Real Madrid, which is frightening to even, say that. So let him go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, let's kind of applaud him. You know, again, like a fellow black man, rah, like the man's doing his thing. Like, the man's going to Real Madrid. Like, the man, you know what I'm saying? Cool. Like, you know. However, I do understand what Doctor's saying in terms of, because again, like, there's the kind of Scouser side of it, where as Scousers, they are very, they are very loyal. They are very, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't say that they're English. They just say that they're Scouts, innit? So literally, you know what I'm saying? So literally that side of it, I kind of get. Like, they feel hurt, they feel betrayed.
Of course.
But when you actually just simmer down and kind of look at everything, at kind of 50,000 feet viewpoint, he's done everything at our club. Let this man live. He's 26 now. Cool. We move on. We will still win trophies without him. You know, I've got really nothing else to say, man. That's the. Yeah.
Gonna send a big, massive evening shout goes out to CW, our champion one-liner. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen," and he says that I'm still wishing Trent the best, and I didn't like the booing. He said we turned up like Alexander Usyk in the first half, and then Jarrell Miller in the second. The game was always going to end in a draw when I saw Nunes coming on.
Yeah.
And Trent is background noise. Bloody celebrate our title number 20. And we should be giving Trent a good reception. He's gone to Real Madrid, not Man United. So, yeah, okay. I still feel disappointed about the way he's gone about it for me. Just needed to be a bit more open and honest. And I would also then as Trent, I'd have to look at my advisors as well, because they're obviously not doing a good job as far as I'm concerned.
So do you know what? That's a good point you made, right? And I remember seeing, was it Trent, that High Performance podcast? He sat down with somebody a couple of seasons ago, and he's basically saying that all of his brothers used to play football, but I think their dad wasn't on the scene. It was only their mum or something like that. So Trent being the youngest and the one who had the most talent, basically they had to make a decision as a family that Trent was the only one that could get to go to the football matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously then the rest of the family had to sacrifice their career for Trent. Fair enough. Now, his brother's his agent, right? So his agent who's also his brother, is gonna stand to earn a lot of money from this deal. So I can understand the viewpoint in that, bruh, you know what? My brother sacrificed to me. I want to pay him back a solid. If I'm into Real Madrid, almost like we're even, Steven. He's made £20 million. I can get all of that. But I just think part of me actually is interested to see how he does at Real Madrid, and he would have had my blessings. It's just the way he's left, especially in the context of PSR. So you're now saying that we have to replace Trent in terms of the attributes that he brings to the pitch, whilst also having to then find the money to replace him. I just think that's mad. And then you picture like other situations, right, of teams that have had homegrown talent. Arsenal, with like, when they had some homegrown talent, they actually called the Chelsea thing. We saw how negative that was. Okay, Lampard wasn't Chelsea through and through. He obviously came from West Ham, but he came to represent Chelsea. And you think about John Terry at Chelsea, Lampard at Chelsea. You think of the class of '92, like Beckham, the Giggs, the Scholes, the Nevilles. Like, could I imagine one of them going behind the club's back when the club are in a peak and just won the league and then leaving to go to Real Madrid on a free transfer? Can I imagine Giggs doing that? Giggs who's betraying his brother's gal and banging his brother's gal. But could I imagine even Giggs, who showed no loyalty to his family, doing that to Man U? No. Can I imagine like the Nevilles doing that? No. Scholes doing that? No. So I feel what I'm asking of Trent is not unreasonable. Like, I'm not asking him to hold him to a crazy high standard. Just like, bruv, just be a normal person, bruv. Just be a normal guy.
Well, here we are looking at his replacement. As far as they're saying, they're concerned, is that basically it's a done deal. So there's total agreement between all parties, and it is a done deal. How are we feeling about Frimpong as the replacement, gentlemen? And is Frimpong the starter, Bradley the backup, or is it the other way around?
I'll go first quickly. I think Frimpong is a brilliant player, well, very good player. I think he is devastating going forward. His pace, dribbling, crossing, I think he is so dynamic, and will be an asset to any team who signs him. I don't know about Frimpong as a right back, but if that's what we decide to do, then we've obviously got a plan for it. But yeah, when I've watched him play, he's either played wing back or he's played as part of a front three, or he's played right wing in a 4-2-3-1 in recent games for Holland. But like, when I watch him play, he reminds me of Kanchelskis for Man U, old school right winger, gets to the byline, gets around his fullback on the outside because he's so quick and he's got great crossing. But as a fullback, yeah, boy, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But
nothing would have changed for Konate then.
Basically.
To Brees. Your mic.
Yeah, no, I totally agree into what that doctor said. I remember when we played against them in the Champions League this season when we beat them at our ground. He gave Tsimikas a lot of problems. Like literally, there was like a few opportunities where like he could have scored or squared it, and Tsimikas didn't know if he should stick or twist. As a right back, yeah, again, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting between him and Connor now. Like if like Connor is going to be second fiddle now to Frimpong, how is he going to feel now? Because again, like he would think by right, like he should be the chosen one, but getting like someone like him in who's let's say a lot more dynamic than like Connor, but again, it's a different league, etc. It's going to be a very interesting shootout. But yeah, I mean, as a right back, as a kind of pure right back, I can't see that. I don't know, like I just don't think it would probably work out. But then again, I'll be wrong. I don't
know. Hey, listen, Chris. Walker Peters is a better defender than Frimpong. I'll tell you that for fun.
That's true.
I'll tell you that for fun.
Man said he's gutsy,
But I do think, because by all accounts, look, Chiesa, we brought him on against was it Chelsea? So Chiesa's got his medal, right? And then Arsenal, like, he didn't make the bench. There's been rumours this week that Napoli want to buy him, and that deal's further ahead. So we can assume that Chiesa's going. Makes sense. Just has on that. Sometimes that happens. So I can see Frimpong being a brilliant alternative to Mo Salah and being a very good pacey right winger that we can just get the ball to, and he can just skin his fullback and cross the ball. Like he's not going to get Mo's goal output or coming on his weaker foot. I mean his stronger foot. So it's going to be a slightly different player profile. But I can see Frimpong being a very good right wing option for us. Absolutely, especially when we want to be a bit defensively better, and like Mo's a bit tired and he can't track back anymore and that. So yeah, I think Frimpong as just a player for the team, I can see it being very good.
Okay, well, CW says that we all said that Trent has defensive vulnerabilities, then Slot improved him slightly. He will do the same with Frimpong. You reference. Okay.
Oh yeah, listen, Slot's going to improve anybody, but I just think the improvement in Frimpong might be even going forward, because plus he's tiny as well, and I just feel like he just hasn't played as a right back, right? Just seeing his stats from last season, 31 Bundesliga games, 9 goals, 9 assists. Like the guy's devastating going forward, and he's rapid as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting signing. But yeah, Kanate, boy, man better ask for that 200k ASAP. He's going to be defending next year, boy.
We're swiftly going to move on. This player as well, they're also talking about Napoli being interested in him as well, coming in for him as well. But then they're talking about, could there be a deal with him going for Alvarez at plus cash?
That makes sense. I would take that 100%. Alvarez is a baller, absolute baller. And literally, if we do sign Alvarez, then he's a starter, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Straight away.
Definitely.
So, that would solve a lot of issues right there.
You that, Doctor?
Yeah. I mean, and then also that will probably mean that we can keep Jota as well, right?
I'll get rid of Jota. Yeah. I think he's done. It's a bit harsh, but do you know what it is? I guess this has been his first season, right? Where he started the season as a automatic starter. I know he's been a first team regular, but I guess he hasn't always been a starter, right? Has he? In terms of he started a lot of games, but this season ultimately he's been the first choice number 9. And maybe we're seeing at this stage of his career he's better off used as a rotational player, maybe. So maybe if he's part of the rotation as opposed to being the actual main starter, he may have a better season. So yeah, maybe I need to be a bit more fairer in my judgment of Jota. But yeah, Nunez for Alvarez. If we can get that deal, then that makes sense to send him to Atletico if that's the terms that they want. If not, Go and learn Arabic, bruv, because Saudi will pay big money for us. Like, that has to be the move. Unless we're selling you to a player that we want from the other team, go and learn Arabic, people. Go and learn Arabic. It's a beautiful country. It's safe. You can raise your families there. Saudi is the way. Robbo, Saudi. Jota, Saudi. Nunes, Saudi. Like, anyone surplus is Saudi, man. Tell him, man. Hey.
Okay. Moving
Whoops!
on.
Whoops! Whoops! Jesus. Don't get me excited with this one.
Yeah, well, do you think that this could happen though?
Yes.
It's not happening. Come on.
Okay. Well,
Come on, guys.
Let's do this one quickly. All right then.
No,
So
we can't do this one quickly. We
Doctor
can't.
says yes, Tabri says no, but I want the quick version. Why yes?
Why yes? Because I just think we looked at him, or we made contact to sign him before he went to Leverkusen, but apparently the kind of view at the time was he was too young to leave Germany. So we've maintained contact with the club. So his father and his agents, and I think unlike previous deals that have gone amiss, this would be like a long-term signing. Like, this isn't, we haven't just come to the table today. The interest, the links have been established and known over a period of time. Potentially, Bayern Munich is still his first choice, possibly, but apparently Leverkusen and Munich haven't got the best of terms, so maybe they would prefer to sell him to us. He's met with the club yesterday, apparently. They had meetings in our Manchester offices where we met his dad and we met him. And I just think a lot of how Hughes and Edwards want to move is for long-term signing. So, yeah, I think it's a possibility. And I think he is exceptional, world-class, top 5 players in the world.
Tabrice, why no?
Because exactly what Mark said, this smells like a Bellingham Casado situation, just to appease the fans. Again, it's slow in the news. I'm sorry, it's kind of very slow. Yeah, I'm either going to be Bayern or Manchester City. We can't afford 130 that they're demanding. I think there's like other positions, because he plays as a number 10, literally, and attacking number 10. You don't need an attacking number 10. Really, in terms of how we've got the best out of Mo this season, we have to do something pretty similar next season. Waste of money. No, actually, it's not a waste of money. It's just a player that we just don't need.
I don't know about that. I might have to disagree with that one. And I would, for one, I definitely would fully endorse that signing there. I'll tell you that much.
What, 140 mil?
Boy, listen.
I think he's exceptional. And I think
he is. And
I think this is potentially your Mo Salah replacement. We're talking about how Liverpool replace Mo Salah. And of course, he's not a right wing. Of course, he's not. But in terms of sometimes you need to have a fulcrum for your team, somebody to basically build your attacks through. I think this guy is an outstanding number 10.
Of course he is.
Outstanding. So I could see it being this season either. Let's say he was to come. I could see us playing him from the left, but he plays as a wide playmaker, comes in field and does his thing. Or I could see him basically going up front and we doing that whole kind of double number 10 thing again. Him and Dom, and then the wingers high and wide. On the Caicedo thing, I think this is the opposite to Caicedo, and I say that in the context of when our sporting director was hired, Smacker, over that summer, Chelsea had already made links and had already sewn up the deal with Caicedo before our sporting director was even hired. We have been keeping tabs on this player for about 3 seasons. And Edwards and Hughes is not Klopp and Schmacker. It's just not. It's just not. So the Bellingham it's just not. And I'm not saying that we're going to sign him, but our transfer machine is it's world class. It is world class.
Okay. Well, Chris definitely thinks that Witz is going Bayern. Mark says, let's dream. Isak, Witzer, 240 mil. Well, sometimes you have to dream big, man. You have to dream big. All right, swiftly moving on.
Bro, it's crazy at the moment. It's just pure pausing. It's pure pause I'm having to do right now. I think this guy is the one. I think to be perfect for our midfield. Perfect for our midfield. Perfect. If there is a football world where next season we have signed Wharton and Wirtz, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's Pete.
I will not tolerate a negative word about anything LFC ever again in it. Anything.
All is forgiven.
Mate.
Fabrice, Adam Wharton.
I can see that happening. Of course, try to get Zubimendi, which plays very, very similar. But I think it's the English tax. I think it'd be very hard to prize him away from Palace right now. Like Palace are in a really good place in Europe.
They are.
We're looking at triple figures.
So they mentioned 60, which I think is too low, but it'd be interesting to see why they're going at that price. But apparently, though, Palace have shown interest in Joe Gomez. Not to say that we would sell Joe Gomez. And obviously, Palace inquired about Ben Dowick, right? And for some bizarre reason, it's been seen that Palace would also be interested in Harvey as well. So, yeah, I could maybe see that one. Obviously, he's homegrown as well, and our homegrown quota will be slightly lower. And he's originally, I think, from Blackburn as well, right? So he's from the Northwest as well. So, yeah.
Play Wharton next to Evan Burke. And then
Wharton and Wirtz next season. Listen, if that's all we did next season was sign Wharton and Wirtz, I'd be happy. I'd be over the moon. If we just did those two, I'd take Robbo next season. Honestly.
Okay. As we swiftly moving on again, because we are going to very shortly. Two more things we got to talk about. So, up for Young Player of the Season. What do you reckon, gents?
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
You should win it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And keep or sell?
Sell.
Right. I didn't even give you a chance to that.
I think I might keep Endo.
For what?
For what? To do what exactly?
Yeah.
So I think his wages, from what I can see, aren't crazy high. I think when he has played, he's played well. If that either be centre back or in midfield, I think he's probably one of our better players against Chelsea. I think he's very good for the dressing room, and I think his actual performance levels are still of a good standard. Yes, it might not be what Slot wants, but I think, if he becomes like the James Milner who fills into a few different holes next season, I wouldn't be against that. I just think he's got a bit of flexibility, and until it's clear exactly what we're doing in the market, I think he's a good player. Or good for the squad, should I say.
Okay, gentlemen. Brighton coming up. Predictions, swiftly.
1-1.
1-1.
It's at their ground, isn't it? So
yeah.
1-1.
And
I'm going to say 3-1, man.
Still fighting for Europe, innit?
I don't think maybe.
Yeah.
I think they're still fighting to try and get European football.
I'm going to say 3-1. Luis Diaz brace. Mo Salah scores a goal. I think Mo gets 1 goal, 1 assist.
Okay. So 2 games to go, gents. I would like you to start getting your thinking hats on, because after the Palace game, I want you lot to come with your shopping list. Your full shopping list for next season. And I mean, I want you to be realistic.
Yeah, of course.
Don't just come and write down 10 players, because you know that's not going to happen. So I want you to one side, I want you to write down what you would like to go, not what you think, what you would like, and what you would like to come in as replacements.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I want you to work on. So you got enough time to think about that. So Mark says 3-0 Liverpool.
Good man, Mark.
PW
Good man.
says 2-2. And just quickly before we go, Van Man Roadie, nice to have you on board. He says, what happens to Elliot?
Just don't think Scott's played him enough, man.
Mark makes a good point, actually. Don't forget, lads had no training, been in Dubai for Trent's leaving, dude. So they might not be in the best. Actually, that might be what they needed.
Yeah, well, listen, they were drunk against Chelsea, right? Like they were blatantly drunk against Chelsea, and yeah, I don't know. Listen, I think these guys are so like they're athletes.
I think
right?
we could squeeze it 2-1. I reckon.
What I would say is Minter has finally. It seems he's finally settling. So I can see him roasting up Robbo. Maybe it won't be 3-1.
Yeah, and if Minamoto's on form as well, could be a problem. Could be a problem.
Yeah.
You have to watch sometimes. I tell you, this guy, man, he's got some good football touches in that. See that Danny Welbeck when he's ready, bro.
Yeah. Lincoln play. Lincoln play amazing.
I don't think he gets the props he deserves, man. Seriously.
Agree.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I watch his all-round game, and I'm like, hey,
And that's what is so crazy. All of those guys that United sold under Van Gaal, like Evans, Welbeck, there was someone else smaller than these guys. They start for them now. All that 12 years later. Like, Evans was their best centre back last season.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Madness. But nah, Rob's a good player, man.
Yeah, man. But gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a blast. And Tabrice, good to have you on board.
You're welcome.
Nice one, man. Doctor, as usual.
Works is coming in, man. Works is coming in. I'm going to allow myself to get carried away.
Listen,
I said I wouldn't.
Let's have a butchers and see after that Palace game. Come with your list. You got time. Because it's not after this week, it's the week after. You got time to put your list together. Who you personally want to go and who you personally would like to come in. Not what you think is going to happen. Remember that, yeah? I don't want what you think or speculation. What you want. That's what I want to see. Okay, gentlemen. Thank you very much. People's out there, do remember, hit that like, that share, that subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. It's all about Cop Talk, and we'll see you next week.